Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a deadly shooting at a Dallas ICE facility leaves one person dead and raises more serious questions about safety and political tensions. Plus, a tragic mid-air collision over Washington, D.C. claimed 67 lives, and now families are taking legal action. We'll have the details. And we hear more from Michigan lawmakers on the possibility of a government shutdown less than a week away. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. We're taking a look at your forecast. Things really have not changed since I last saw you here. We'll still have some nice and calm conditions going into tonight. Might have some cloud cover still hanging on here and some patchy fog going into tonight. Shouldn't be too much of an issue though. Temperatures will be fairly seasonal into the upper 40s, a bit mild for us into Marquette, lower 50s, and headed into tomorrow. Might still have some of that cloud cover hanging around, but we will get lots of sunshine and still that summer-like weather. Temperatures into the lower 70s. And we're in for a great weekend ahead. I'll break it all down in just a few minutes.
Kelly, thank you. A gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas this morning in what the acting ICE director says he's convinced was a targeted attack. Marvin Hurst has more.
A gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas Wednesday morning, shooting 3 people and killing at least 1. The federal government confirmed all 3 of those shot were detainees at the facility. According to the Mexican consulate of Dallas, one of those shot was a Mexican national.
Multiple rounds were fired into the building indiscriminately, into the lobby doors, the windows, various walls in the building, but also our sally port, which is where we bring in the secure location for detainees. The shooter fired indiscriminately into vehicles. The detainees were in the vehicle at the time.
Officials say the gunman opened fire on the facility from a rooftop across the street. One victim was shot while running from a van trying to get help. The suspect died on the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. FBI Director Kash Patel posted a photo online of what he says are the gunman's unused shell casings, one with a handwritten message that says anti-ICE. Republican Senator Ted Cruz condemned the current political climate that he says is leading to violence.
This must stop. To every politician who is using rhetoric demonizing ICE and demonizing CBP, stop.
This marks the 3rd shooting in Texas directed at ICE, or U.S. Customs and Border Protection. As for Wednesday's incident, no law enforcement was injured.
The Dallas field office serves as a temporary holding facility for some detainees. It was also the target of a bomb threat last month. That suspect was arrested. The Department of Homeland Security says attacks faced by ICE officials are up by over 1,000% since this time last year. The family of one of 67 people killed when a passenger airliner and an Army helicopter collided over Washington, D.C. in January is suing the government and the airlines involved. It was the deadliest U.S. plane crash in more than 2 decades. The lawsuit filed Wednesday seeks to hold the FAA, the U.S. Army, American Airlines, and its regional partner PSA Airlines accountable for the mid-air collision. Other families are expected to join the lawsuit brought by the widow of crash victim Casey Crafton. Doug Lane, whose wife and 16-year-old son both died on Flight 5342, spoke at today's news conference.
While today is about Casey Crafton and his beautiful family, I, along with a number of other family members affected by this collision, are here to deliver the message that the Crafton family are not on this journey alone. Over 120 of us that were affected by this tragedy have banded together to become something both beautiful and powerful. We've supported each other through birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, weddings that were planned but never held.
The NTSB has identified likely contributing factors in the air disaster, including that the Army helicopter was flying too high. The Army released a statement saying, in part, quote, "Out of respect for the deceased, their families, and the ongoing investigation, it is inappropriate for the Army to comment on litigation." Lawmakers in Lansing now have less than a week to pass a state budget before the state government shuts down. Legislators blew through the statutory deadline back in July and are now working on a compromise with just 5 days left. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has the latest from lawmakers.
Without a budget plan, Michigan's government is set to shut down in less than a week. Both the House and Senate have added session days to the calendar, giving lawmakers more time to come to a compromise.
Our expectation, or at least my expectation, is the budget's going to be done by September 30th at 11:59. Now, whether that happens or not, we want to be able to prepare for the situation where that doesn't happen.
The House and Senate have begun holding joint caucus meetings behind closed doors, the first sign of progress in negotiations since the House passed its version of a plan in August.
I'm not part of those conversations. I'm not the appropriations chair, and I don't sit on the appropriations committee. But my understanding is there has been a decent amount of progress made.
Michigan has faced government shutdowns before, the longest of which only lasted a handful of hours, giving some reassurance that even if the deadline is missed, work will continue until a deal is made.
There's all kinds of talk statewide about a shutdown. You know, I do not want a shutdown. I'm not advocating for a shutdown. I want to keep the state open.
However, House leaders say current negotiations are centered around picking the most important fights and sticking to them, which means a lot of disagreements to sift through in the next few days.
A lot of it is talking about, where do we stand, what hills do we die on, and what hills do we not die on.
Lawmakers are anticipating long hours with added session days this coming Friday and Monday. The goal is to finalize a budget plan that addresses the priorities of both chambers without a lapse in funding for essential state services. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
The search continues for the next president of Northern Michigan University. Earlier today on Insights, we were joined by NMU's Chief Marketing Officer, Derek Hall, to hear what progress they're making. Here's a snippet of that conversation. And as we mentioned, the search for a new president continues. What can you tell us about where we are right now?
Well, we're finally at the public stage. The search started back in April, but it was a real silent phase. Building a pool. We have a committee that's done a lot of work. They had 84 applicants for this job. They narrowed it down to 11. They did Zoom interviews with those 11, and they've selected 4 to bring to campus, and they're coming next week.
All right, excellent. I know you want the public involved in this decision as well. I understand there's some forums coming up. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so we have 2 candidates next week and then 2 candidates the following week. And they're here for 2 days, so a Monday, Tuesday, and then a Thursday, Friday. And part of that schedule for each candidate is a community forum, a reception, come, informal talk, meet, chat, those types of things. And those are going to be at the Northern Center Ballroom at 5:30 to 7 on Monday and Thursday next week, and Monday and Thursday the following week.
All right, good deal. What can people expect when they show up?
Hopefully a big crowd.
Sure.
One thing, we don't announce the names and share the resumes until about 24 hours before their visit. And so candidate number 1 will be on campus Monday morning. Sunday morning, we will share their information on our website. Go to NMU, search presidential search, and you'll find all the details there. And then on Wednesday morning, we'll reveal candidate number 2 and then do the same thing the following week. And they will be meeting with faculty, staff, students, leaders, community members. They have a lot of sessions to do in those 2 days.
You can find our full conversation with Derek Hall right now on WZMQ19.com. Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast when we come back. A deadly storm leaves devastation across Asia. Super Typhoon Regasa forces millions to flee, destroys homes, and turns hotels into disaster zones. And a 7-year-old cancer survivor is thriving after a battle that began when she was just 10 weeks old. Her story when we come back.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. Thanks for being here. We're checking in now on the weather. Shouldn't be too much to take notes on. There's really great news and great improvements on the way for us. Today is still seasonal. 64 for the high and the average is 63. So right where we should be, not seeing record-breaking temperatures, not record-breaking rainfall. We'll stay pretty much status quo, keeping things quiet for the rest of tonight and even into tomorrow morning. Shouldn't have any issues for that morning commute. We might just have some patchy fog, so just use those low speeds, low beams, possibly leaving a few extra minutes, but we really should burn that off, get lots of sunshine. And just to show you another visual representation here that we're not really looking at any major rain systems. We'll stay into that low range of rain chances for the next 48 hours. This is now all the way to Friday morning. Get those plans set because we're looking dry and also sunny and also still summer-like for this weekend ahead. So you might need the light jacket just because these Friday night light games are later on into the evening, but still looking at lots of sunshine and seasonal temperatures into the lower 60s. It's actually mild though for this time of the year, this time of the day. So whether you're headed out to Lance, Kingsford, or Pickford, all these games should have beautiful conditions for there. Not just for Friday though, we'll carry that in to the weekend as a whole too. Switching gears really quickly, we do have some new developments into the tropics. We are technically maybe just a little bit past the peak of hurricane season, and things were pretty quiet here for a while right at the peak. But I said once things get going, really things can change rapidly. We could have some rapid intensification, and we're kind of having that at the moment. We're seeing Hurricane Gabrielle starting to fizzle out though. It's getting some more colder water as it shifts north here, so that should fizzle out into nothing. But we do have now Tropical Storm Umberto that just joined us for today. So if we look at the possible path of it, at the moment it is forecasted to continue with this path out towards the west. This is down to San Juan, so of course way out of our area, but if you have any family down there taking a vacation anytime soon, we could start to see some tropical storm watches and warnings, possibly hurricane watches and warnings popping up here. No matter if it hits the landfall, makes the landfall or not, it might bring some rip currents, high surf advisories towards this way too. Saturday morning should forecasted to be into a category 1 by that time. We'll keep an eye on it. There's also another possible area that could form into a tropical cyclone. But bringing it back here locally too, still hanging on to that summertime heat. We're still going to be trending warmer than average in the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. So for tonight, still seeing those mild temperatures into the lower 50s, where we should be into the lower 40s by now too, and those high temperatures should be into the mid to lower 60s. We'll see much of this 7 days ahead above that, especially for tomorrow's summer-like conditions. We'll dip down a bit seasonal for Friday, but as we get ready for the weekend, things will start to change. We'll push to the mid to upper 70s, lots of sunshine, and that will also carry into next week. So your first weekend of fall is looking very summer-like.
Kelly, thanks again. Dozens of people are dead after Super Typhoon Regasa made landfall overnight across Asia. The power of the deadly cyclone blew the doors out of a hotel in Hong Kong and forced close to 2 million people in China to flee their homes. Anna Corin hunkered down at her house in Hong Kong, where waves got a little too close for comfort.
With a ferocity not witnessed in Hong Kong for years, Super Typhoon Regasa pummeled the city Wednesday morning, bringing hurricane-force winds, torrential rain and a storm surge that left a trail of destruction. A river of seawater crashed through the lobby of a luxury hotel, sending people and glass flying. In neighbouring Taiwan, heavy rain caused a dam to overflow, the wall of water killing more than a dozen people downstream and washing away this bridge. In southern China, hundreds of thousands of people had to be evacuated from low-lying areas as what's been dubbed the King of Storms lashed the coastline.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
For my family and I who live near the water, it was too close for comfort.
And you check the house, okay?
This violent storm surge turning a calm estuary into a menacing threat.
Suddenly this huge surge of water, all these waves crashed into our front yard, and as you can see, flooding, water's now trapped, and my boys and I are trying to now get it out.
Thankfully, our perseverance and sandbags paid off. But not everyone was as fortunate to walk away unscathed. Super Typhoon Ragasa lost some of its intensity as it made landfall later in southern China, with big waves pounding the coastline. This has been described as the most powerful storm in the world this year.
September is Childhood Cancer Month. It's estimated currently about 500,000 cancer survivors were first diagnosed under the age of 20, according to the National Cancer Institute. 85% of children diagnosed with cancer now survive 5 years or more, highlighting the importance of following these patients as they can develop health problems later in life related to their treatment. Jessica Moore has one family story.
Beep, beep. Hannah Barbu is a happy, healthy 7-year-old who loves to dance.
Yes.
And do puzzles. She's also a cancer survivor. At just 10 weeks old, she was diagnosed with a rare cancer that starts in the nerve cells called neuroblastoma.
You're living your worst nightmare.
Hannah endured 4 rounds of chemotherapy over 3 months.
You go from having this brand new baby at home to now living in a hospital. She had a really bad reaction to one of the chemos and went into full-blown anaphylactic shock. I mean, I literally turned purple and stopped breathing in my arms.
The treatment was successful. Hannah is now among hundreds of childhood cancer survivors receiving lifelong follow-up and care through Northwell Health's Survivors Facing Forward program.
We know that many of the critical treatments that we rely on to achieve cure are associated with a wide variety of health problems and psychosocial challenges that may arise months to even decades after treatment.
Dr. Lena Jaffe says late effects can include heart disease, secondary cancers associated with treatment, endocrine, and fertility complications.
Our program is designed to not only screen for and address these long-term challenges, but also provide patients and families with the counseling, guidance, and support that they need.
This just adds like an extra worry for her future.
Laura says the support Hannah has gives them peace of mind.
So many other families don't get the opportunity that I get. To see her grow and to see her be the person that she is just the greatest honor. I'm so grateful, because it could have been a lot worse.
So they don't take any of these moments for granted.
Still to come on your 19 News, it's official. Robot umpires are coming to Major League Baseball. We'll have the details when we come back.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local. with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Mortgage rates have dropped, but is the housing market finally getting more affordable? Jill Schlesinger has a fall housing update.
It's true, mortgage rates have declined to the lowest levels of the year, but housing market affordability is a little more complicated. The median home price is nearly $440,000, up 34% from 5 years ago, according to Redfin. The good news is that the rate of price increases has slowed down. And in some once hot areas like the Sun Belt, prices have fallen from their peak. But even with moderating prices and 30-year mortgage rates at around 6.25%, the cost of carrying a home loan is steep. Adding to the challenge, getting together the recommended down payment of 10 or 20%. The good news is that there are more than 2,000 down payment assistance programs, according to the company Down Payment Resource, which tracks them nationwide. For those prospective homeowners getting help from their families, be clear about whether they are gifting you the money or lending it.
4 astronauts set to venture around the moon on Artemis II shared an update today on their first crewed NASA mission aimed at eventually establishing a long-term presence on the moon. Mission Commander Reed Wiseman says liftoff for the approximately 10-day Artemis II test flight scheduled to launch by next April will happen when the time is right.
I know this week NASA has said that we're going to open the launch window in early February, and we just do not anchor on dates. We are going to launch when this vehicle is ready, when this team is ready, and we are going to go execute this mission to the best of our abilities. When we get off the planet, we might come right back home. We might spend 3 or 4 days around Earth. We might go to the moon. That's where we want to go, but it is a test mission, and we are ready for every scenario as we ride this amazing space launch system and the Orion spacecraft 250,000 miles away.
During today's news conference, the Artemis II crew members announced they have named their Orion spacecraft Integrity. Major League Baseball has had some major changes in the last few years to try and improve the game. The newest change could be the biggest one yet: robot umpires. Baseball's Joint Competition Committee voted yesterday to use an automated system starting next year that allows players to challenge ball and strike calls. Dana Jacobson shows us why this is such a hot issue.
Strike 3 and a pitch that was not a strike.
For as long as America's pastime has been played,
And he's out of the ballgame.
the umpires behind home plate and their sometimes subjective strike zones have angered players and managers alike, to the point that arguing balls and strikes has become as much a part of the game as hot dogs and home runs.
Never even comes near the plate.
But in an effort to reduce the constant controversy, on Tuesday, the Major League Baseball Joint Competition Committee announced it was instituting an automated ball strike challenge system, or ABS. Starting next season, if a batter, pitcher, or catcher disagrees with a call, they can immediately tap their hat or helmet, triggering a review. If any part of the ball touches the digitally generated zone shown in stadium, it's counted as a strike. The league says the whole challenge process should take around 15 seconds.
This system right here, players have always wanted to challenge if that was a ball or strike. And the consistency of this has been great.
ABS challenge ends it.
ABS has already been in place at the minor league level.
Ball down. Oh, challenge. What do you think? Yeah.
And was featured in this year's All-Star game. MLB Network analyst and former major leaguer Harold Reynolds says ABS should also help with fan engagement.
Well, I understand having kids, they grew up in this generation where you're used to technology, and if you don't have it, you're falling behind.
And that is in there for strike 3.
This week, Escanava's Players did not debut their first show since the fire at the Boniface Theater in May. The group's production of Don't Mention My Name opens at Bay College's Bessie Theater on Friday. It's the story of a man who can't remember who he is, but everyone he meets knows him and calls him by a different name. The Players say it's a hilarious, family-friendly adventure with twists and turns that will keep audiences entertained.
I've seen this show probably dozens of times at this point. I still giggle, especially during certain parts. Everyone is so excited to just be back in action again. It's a good reason to go out and have fun for a night and just forget your troubles.
Don't Mention My Name runs September 26th through 28th and October 2nd through 4th. Tickets are available online at the Boniface Arts Center and at the door. A healthier soda option coming from an unlikely source as Ringo Starr rocks on at age 85. Gwen Bumgarner has tonight's entertainment headlines.
Hi, I'm Ben, and this is Stiller's.
He's an actor, director, comedian, and now entrepreneur. Ben Stiller is launching his own soda line, cracking open a bubbly business inspired by the flavors of his New York City childhood.
My new soda, made with bubbles.
It's called Stiller Soda, a 30-calorie drink with 3 flavors, Shirley Temple, lemon lime, and root beer. It's now available on Amazon and in New York City corner delis. But Stiller's not leaving the entertainment business anytime soon. His latest movie, Focker-in-Law, hits theaters in late November. At 85 years old, Ringo Starr is continuing to rock a beat and sell out shows.
Is it still the rock and roll lifestyle?
It's not really, is it?
The iconic drummer is reflecting on his time with the Beatles while promoting his current tour with the All-Star Band, which performs in Las Vegas tonight. Each show expected to close with the familiar tune, With a Little Help from My Friends.
I love that song, and I thank Paul. I mean, I can go on tour because he wrote that song for me.
Starr also confirmed that Anthology 4, a compilation of Beatles songs, will be released later this year. Actor Jesse Williams is taking viewers to Italy's Amalfi Coast in his latest series, Hotel Costiera.
I am at a bit of a personal and professional crossroads, if I'm being honest.
Williams is cast as an ex-Marine turned problem solver at a luxury hotel, tasked with tracking down art thieves and recovering a kidnapped dog. The series is being released today on Prime.
Stay tuned. Final look at weather after this.
And a final look at your forecast. Thankfully, we do have some good news to continue through the rest of this week and heading into the weekend slowly but surely. Here's a look at your hour by hour for the rest of tonight, and the overnight will stay pretty mild, closer to that normal high of 63, 62 degrees. And tomorrow we are in for some really summer-like conditions. We're looking at anywhere from the mid to upper 70s. We might still have some lower 70s in there and upper 60s because of that cloud cover, and if we have some patchy fog hanging out to the eastern half here, but really really it's still going to be a very nice day. Great time to get out and get any errands done, any decorations done for fall time. We will stay into that very low chance of rain, not only for the next 48 hours, but through the entire weekend and into the next week ahead. I think you're going to enjoy this next 7 days here. Lots of sunshine. We might just have a few clouds mixing on in. That's really going to be what we're tracking for, is just the cloud cover, maybe an isolated drop or two, but we'll hang on to that summertime heat through the weekend and into early next week, dipping back down to the 60s by next Wednesday.
Kelly, thank you very much. Finally, tonight, many pet owners will agree treating pets like our own children is perfectly rational. Scientist and college professor Justin Gregg is out with a new book, Humanish: What Talking to Your Cat or Naming Your Cat reveals about the uniquely human need to humanize. It explores the concept of anthropomorphism. That's the act of treating a non-human as if it had a human-like mind, even though we know it is not a human.
Well, anthropomorphism is generated by us wanting to connect to other humans. So we're keen to look for other humans in the world. And so if we see something in our dog that is human-like, that's good too. We start treating them well. Anthropomorphism makes us nice toward our pets, which is good for them and for us.
Greg says the idea explains why humans are becoming emotionally connected to chatbots. That's all for now. We'll see you tomorrow.